Lalo THR here. What's going down, everybody? I hope you're doing fantastic. Just here at work, waiting on a load in the truck, so I decided why not shoot the shit a little bit about the sport I love, boxeo. And man, Wilder Chisora is the big story I want to talk about because I didn't see the whole fight in its entirety. And besides the fact that the referee robbed Wilder of a stoppage, a very clear stoppage that I think it was round 3, the biggest plot twist of this fight is the fact that it went the distance and Wilder won a split decision. I cannot believe it. I watched the fight maybe up until the 6th round, possibly the 7th round, but I saw half the fight. Unfortunately, I had tickets to go see the worst movie ever made in the history of filmmaking, Super Mario Galaxy. I had 2 tickets already pre-bought, like, for a while, actually. And yeah, I'm a nerd. Yeah, whatever. I'm a nerd. I didn't even take no kids to see it or nothing. That was all me. Y'all could call me whatever you want. Me and my wife, we're big nerds. We watch all the Sonic movies. We watch all the Marvel movies. And yeah, I mean, Mario is a staple of our childhood as millennials. So yeah, we went and see. Man, I spent like almost $100 because I bought 2 tickets to see Mario Galaxy in a 4D, XD, some shit like that, where the seats move and you get additional effects, like in the theater itself, in the auditorium. Like there was smoke effects and smells and water. There's supposed to be water effects too. I don't know if I had my shit turned off. I didn't get no water, but nonetheless, yeah, man, I gotta say right now, Great Britain, by the way, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is not that bad. I just want to say that before I move on. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is not that bad. I swear, I don't know how people are expecting like some Shawshank Redemption level storytelling and filmmaking from a fucking Mario movie, dog. Like, y'all are ridiculous, man. Fucking Ebert and Roper probably wouldn't even trash the movie the way some of these critics and influencers have. You got that one weirdo Penguin, that famous YouTube content creator, trashing the movie, and so many others. And it's like, bro, it is in fact a kid's movie. And I know that's ironic coming from me, a grown-ass man who spent almost $100 for him and his wife to go see the movie. Hey, man, we got Cheetos popcorn, too, man. We got Cheetos popcorn and tea and a large water. All that shit adds up. But it was not that bad of a movie. So if you have the time, I would recommend it. I would recommend it if you're a millennial like myself, so you grew up with this character. If you didn't grow up playing Mario on the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo and N64, then yeah, don't spend your money, because you're gonna just be lost. Be like, what are all these references? What are all these callbacks? I'm not understanding. I wish I would have grown up in the greatest decade ever, the 90s, and the early 2000s are underrated as well. But yeah, the Mario Galaxy movie was not that bad. But what is that bad is the absolute bias that fighters face that travel to England to fight one of their home-cooked fighters, man. The bias. Bro, Wilder should have got a stoppage on Chisora in that 3rd round, I believe it was. Bro, Wilder was coming on strong, bringing it to Chisora, had him pinned up against the corner, and Chisora, for whatever reason, just stopped doing it. Like, he froze dead in his tracks. He froze without any proper defense, and the referee inexplicably halted the action, got in between them, stopped Wilder, and looked at Chisora and said, "Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to fight?" Like, what the fuck was that? That's one of the worst scenes of bias, examples of biasness I've ever seen in a fight. And that's a very common thing in Great Britain. Like, in England especially, they when you talk about, like, even some US states, for an example, are faulty of that, like Texas, right? Texas is a big one. Any fighter from Texas fights an outsider, he's gonna get the nod. Like, they're biased as hell in Texas. Bro, England is like the state of Texas on steroids. On super steroids, on that snack sauce. Okay? I mean, R.I.P. Victor Connie, but they're on that Connie sauce, bro. Like, It is on steroids. Like, they're super biased. I'm surprised vatos like Arnold Barbosa actually traveled all the way over there and whooped Catterall's ass and got a decision. Like, that's what makes that win even the more impressive. Like, they're very biased out there, man, with their home-cooked fighters, So, big ups to Wilder, man. Big ups to Wilder. He's got a nice win in the twilight of his career. This was a pretty even fight. This is a prediction I got wrong. I thought Chisora was going to beat Wilder. I thought he was going to stop Wilder. I thought Chisora was going to do to Wilder what Wilder almost should have done in the third round to Chisora. So this is now the first, pick I get wrong since Canelo Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So damn, I was on a good win streak. I was bragging in the last upload. I was bragging too about how I've been getting all these fights picked correctly. And here you go. Life always finds a way to humble you, even in some stupid ass shit like boxing and picking, making predictions and shit. So big ups to Wilder. What's next for Wilder? What's next for Chisora? That's what I want to know. I think Chisora should retire. But I have a hunch that Chisora's going to be on some, Ric Flair type shit where he's going to be on the longest, retirement tour of all time where he keeps saying he's retiring, but then he has one more fight kind of deal. He just strikes me as that kind of guy that's going to, not want to let go. As far as Wilder, the only fight that makes sense and that should happen is a fight with Anthony Joshua, man. It's perfect. All the pieces to the puzzle are laid out for you. You know what I'm saying? It's perfect. Wilder and AJ are at the same level right now. They're at the exact same level. They're, as far as physically, as far as their primes, as far as I think AJ would beat Wilder, though, if I'm being honest. There is, to my surprise, some people that are convinced after this Chisora win that Wilder would actually knock out Anthony Joshua. I don't see that. I think it's the other way around. I think Anthony Joshua would KO Deontay Wilder. Probably not as bad as that Chinese guy, Xing Bling Blang, whatever, the guy, I will bang you. Oh, I will bang you. Yeah, whatever his name is, Shabang Bang. I don't think that AJ will knock him out as bad as that, but I think AJ will knock out Wilder. Potentially get a stoppage even. But that's the only fight that makes sense, man. That's the only fight that makes sense. It's a fight that has eluded the fans. Certain fan bases have wanted to see this fight for a very long time. Quite frankly, it's a fight that should have happened almost a decade ago. And now we finally have an opportunity to see it. So I'm calling it, man. Wilder versus AJ. I'm picking AJ by stoppage, possibly by knockout, one-hitter quitter, possibly by TKO. But I think AJ will reign supreme. Only time will tell. We'll see what happens. One thing I want to talk about before I sign off here is also Canelo versus Mbilli. Heavily rumored fight to be taking place in September. Canelo's big return fight after his defeat at the hands of Terrence Bud Crawford. Mbilli's a dangerous fighter, man. That's a dangerous comeback fight for Canelo. Now, I know that Mbilli's style is kind of tailor-made for Canelo, but this is not Canelo of old, man. It's very obvious and it's very clear as day. This is not the Canelo of old. This is not the Canelo from 2022, which I want to say was the last year of his prime, was 2022. Obviously, highlight of that year is KO over Caleb Plant. I believe that was in 22. That might have been 21. But either way, I firmly believe Canelo came out of prime after his Bivol defeat. Because in my personal opinion, Canelo was never quite the same after that loss to Dimitri Bivol. All his fights after that were just kind of meh, like, okay, Canelo doing his thing. But I gotta say, man, Mbilli, I for some reason I can't remember his first name, but Mbilli is a dangerous comeback fight for an older, more shop-worn kind of Canelo. A Canelo who couldn't beat a career welterweight who moved up in weight and beat him because he had faster feet, faster hand speed, and, had better defense. Now, Mbilli's style is different. It's the polar opposite of that. He's an aggressive fighter, come forward, but he's also a whirlwind, man. A whirlwind. He's kind of like to a much lesser degree, kind of like a Sebastian Fundora, you know, of that division, of the super middleweight division, but albeit way less. Fundora is just something else, man. He's a whole other animal. But this is a dangerous comeback fight for Canelo, and should he win, you know, people are calling for a fight with him and Lester Martinez. That's another thing I want to talk about, man, because I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but that Lester Martinez victory on that Pro Box show, I could have went. I actually could have went to that fight, because that was in San Bernardino, California, where I used to live, and I used to live out there. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Yeah, I lived for 2 years in San Bernardino, fucking ghetto ass area too. But hey man, the rent was $1,400 per month. I mean, that's, you know, that's incredible. That's incredible. In Southern Cali, to find any place that's gonna rent for $1,400, anything below $1,500 really, and it was a big apartment that I had too. Like, I had a big ass living room. I mean, it was nice. It was nice. It was in the hood, but it was nice. As long as you mind your business, you're good. But nonetheless, what was I talking about? Yes, so Lester Martinez taking on, or defeating rather, some gatekeep fighter named Alim, I believe was his name. And it was for like an interim belt, I want to say, because he did hold up a WBC strap. So people think he's like the world champion now, but he's not. He's like kind of like a temporary champion, like interim, you know, kind of like Virgil Ortiz, I believe, is also an interim champion right now, if I'm not mistaken. But let me just say, I tweeted, man, after that fight, because of the amount of Guatemalans that sold out. That I tried to cop tickets last minute. That's right. I did try to cop tickets. That's the point I was leading into. I could have went to that fight. I went on the website, the events area of the fight, and I tried to cop tickets. That shit was sold out. And, of course, during the live stream on YouTube, Robox TV, which, by the way, tremendous job they're doing over there. You know, they're truly giving me like kind of like Friday night fights on ESPN style feel again. A solo boxeo tecate, you know, Azteca box. Like they're giving me that old school boxing feeling again, man, where you see nice little decent scraps between intermediate fighters, you know, that are coming up trying to build a name, and it's refreshing. It's really refreshing. And you know, Zuffa Boxing is doing their thing, so really boxing in general is kind of like, I don't want to call it a golden age, hell nah, but we're entering the bronze age of boxing right now, and it's exciting. It's exciting. New things are advancing and developing. It's very exciting. But I tweeted after Lester Martinez victory over Alim, bro, if the rumors of Canelo fighting Mbilli are true, cancel it. Just cancel it right now and book Canelo's return fight, his comeback fight, at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California, against Lester Martinez, homie. Bro, that fight would be bigger than Canelo Crawford, dog. Yeah, I said it. Because you have to understand something. And of course, I got shit on. Everybody entered my tweets. Follow me, by the way, on Twitter, at Lalo_THR. I'd be talking that shit, man. You'll see me trolling. You'll see me tweeting random things. I talk about la cultura. I talk about chicanismo. I talk a lot of shit. I engage. You know, I'm a wild one on Twitter. You know, definitely. And I'll be the first to tell you, yes, my personality in real life is vastly different from my online personality, but I'm pretty sure like 95% of the people will say the same, or they won't say it, but it's true. Everybody's like that. Nobody acts in real life in person the way they act online. You know what I'm saying? But be that as it may, I tweeted out, bro, yeah, it'll be bigger than Crawford Canelo. Canelo versus Lester Martinez would be the biggest fight of 2026 by default. Because you have to understand, everybody shit on me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know shit about boxing, he's a damn clown, blah, blah, blah. Bro, you have to understand something. SoFi Stadium is in Los Angeles, Califastlan, where there is a large concentration of Guatemalans, and obviously, everybody knows, Mexicans run this shit. There is a ginormous contingent of Mexicans and Mexican Americans. We run this motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? All the West Coast too. Not just Cali, not just LA. California, Texas, Arizona, You know what I mean? It's all raza, bro. New Mexico, quote unquote. That shit ain't New Mexico. That's Mexico, homie. We run all this shit, okay? We're strong in numbers, and we show up and show out. So I'm telling you right now, even if let's just say, because you know, one of the big counterpoints everybody was telling me was, bro, Lester Martinez is not as big as you think he is. He's not as famous as you think he is. Okay, but Canelo is, homie. Canelo is. So even if, let's say, a fuckload of Guatemalans don't pack that stadium, which they would, they 100% would. You mean to tell me that Guatemalans over there in San Berduco sold out for a fight with Lester Martinez against some unknown guy? Nobody knew who the fuck Alim is or was, and still don't know who he is. Now, granted, that was a smaller venue. I understand that. But bro, there's an even bigger contingent of Guatemalans in Los Angeles, bro, than there are in San Bernardino. All those motherfuckers that filled up that small venue in San Bernardino would travel to SoFi Stadium and then some. Probably every Guatemalan in San Bernardino would travel to Los Angeles, and then all the Guatemalans in Los Angeles themselves would fill out their portion of the stadium. And of course, you have all the Mexicans supporting Canelo. And by the way, let me just make one thing clear. Bro, Canelo is not like only Mexicans are fans of him. Bro, Canelo's a crossover star. He has fans from all countries from all over the world. There's Canelo fans from the Philippines. There's Filipino Canelo fans. There's Japanese Canelo fans. White people, black people. Well, I don't know about black people. But the point is, Canelo has a lot of fans, bro, from all walks of life. He's a big commercial attraction. He's casuals know Canelo. He's not like just a Mexican commodity. Like, this ain't Eric Morales or Barrera, homie. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Juan Manuel Marquez. This is Canelo. He's a major attraction. So I'm telling you, bro, you book Canelo versus Lester Martinez at SoFi Stadium in LA, it would not surprise me if that shit sold out, the whole stadium, dog. It would not surprise me. Even if it doesn't sell out, I promise you, that would be the biggest fight of 2026. It would be bigger than Canelo Crawford from last year, you know, because Crawford is not a major star. Nobody really knows who Crawford, and still don't. Nobody even fucks with Crawford. There's rumors that he's coming back. Nobody cares. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sure a certain demographic care about him. That's fine. Good for them. But the vast majority of people don't give a fuck about Crawford. They don't know who he is. He's not like this big attraction. You know what I mean? And Lester Martinez, bro, he's like he's to Guatemala what Pacquiao was to the Philippines. You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, they're going to ride or die for that boy. Win or lose. Win or lose. So that's all I really wanted to say, man. I wanted to touch on that because that's something I've been wanting to say, but I keep forgetting. Lalo THR, I'm going to sign off of this transmission. Have a good day.